Then
I be
he's,
ride
like,
fastly, call
coming-
me Jeff Gordon and the black SS with the navigation.
Dude,
That shit's so good.
that shit is smart as fuck.
It's so good.
All right, welcome to the Triple F podcast.
Hey,
Josh is dead again.
He's
dead.
this time actually dead. Too many margs.
Yeah, Josh had too many margs. He was
Yeah, rest
texting
in
me last
peace.
night in Mason City, Iowa, just trashed.
Yeah, rest in peace, dude. Speaking of hip hop, I got teary listening to Lil Wayne yesterday.
You cried to Lil Wayne?
I did because my phone was on shuffle, and the Kobe song came on. And that shit had me like, it was like I was teary eyed, but also hype as fuck.
Wait, what song is the Wait.
Kobe doing work, 2-4 on my shirt. He the greatest on the court, and I'm the greatest on the verse.
Oh, man.
Oh man, I was so teared up, dude. Black Mamba, Attack Conquer, Basketball Beast, the Rap Monster. I was like, you're fucking right, dude. He was the best.
Dude.
Oh, I was going nuts.
You want to know something that was weird for me? When I heard Kobe died, I wasn't like, oh, like I didn't, not that I didn't care, but like in my mind I was like, yeah, he's old. And then I was like, wait, no, he wasn't.
Like 44.
Yeah, he's like 44. You forget like people like fucking Bill Russell lived to be like 100 or however old. Is he still, wait.
Bill Russell died.
Yeah, but how old? He was old as fuck though, wasn't he?
He was like late 80s, I want to say.
Yeah,
88,
like that's
89.
good.
Yeah.
Late 80s.
That's really good for a 7-foot-plus guy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like those guys, like as much as we all love Shaquille O'Neal,
He's going to die a premature
he's
death.
not going to be around for that
Yeah.
much longer. Shaq is not.
He's going to die doing a General commercial.
Yeah,
The
he's
General.
going to die filming a spot for Papa John's.
Shaq is like a big like investor of things.
Yeah,
like
dude, did you
like-
know he owns like 85% of all Five Guys locations?
Really?
If
He
you've
also
eaten
is
at a
like a
Five
majority
Guys-
owner in like J.C. Penney's or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
something crazy.
Which is not doing well.
No, department stores are out.
Yeah, nobody.
Department stores are out. Thrifting is in.
Boom.
Boom. I heard that from a girl with a tattoo under her boobs.
Okay, so a retard.
Yeah, no, dude. There is a very specific kind of girl who has that sternum tat.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
and they're all dumb.
yeah.
I hope I'm not offending any of our good girls out there, but I'm sure that there are some.
You can be dumb and a good girl.
Yeah. The best girls are dumb.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. There's nothing worse than an educated bitch.
God, what do I need you spouting facts that I can't refute because
Sweetheart.
I'm not educated?
Leave the thinking to me.
Listen. Listen. I went to school. Leave the fucking studying to the men.
You know what I mean? Look, I don't keep you around for your brains, sweetheart.
Right. How could you study? You keep running back and forth to the bathroom to put your tampons in. How could you
can't-
focus?
How do you look down at a book with your tits in the way? Oh, dude. I really wanted to tell you about the most, I mean, this is the most racist thing I've ever seen. It
You
was
witnessed it. You
crazy.
weren't a part of it besides
Was
being
not a part of
viewer.
it. I was
Okay.
witnessing it, and it made me say out loud, oh, shit, dude.
Uh-huh.
That's how racist this was.
Okay.
I was in line at Chipotle. Dude in front of me with his son. He's paying at the cashier.
Describe him.
Early 40s white guy.
Okay.
Son maybe 5 years old, 5-6 years
Okay.
old. He's paying at the counter. His son is standing next to him going like this, like doing finger guns and going bang, 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 bang. Like just kept doing that. And the dad looks at him and goes, "You're shooting me? That's not nice. Come on, man." And then goes back to dealing with the cashier. Kid doesn't stop. Just keeps going bing, 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 bing. The dad looks back at him and goes, "All right, why don't we put the gun down, Tyrone?" And I was like,
Holy shit.
I went, out loud, I went, oh, shit. Like, I'm behind this guy. Like, he heard me say that.
Holy shit,
Like, it
dude.
was a guttural reaction. Like, I didn't mean to say something so
Right.
that he would hear me. But it was just so crazy to hear him be like, "All right, Tyrone, why don't we put the gun down?" I was like, "Yo,
That's so fucking crazy.
that's nuts."
And because that's the kind of like,
also, cashier, black.
of course he was. I've been to a Chipotle in South Florida.
Like, yo,
Yeah, dude, that's wild. Now, because there's two options. Either this guy is so, I mean, he's so, that's the not the funniest kind of racism for sure, but like it's almost like it's just that he doesn't even get that that's that racist. Or on the complete opposite spectrum, he named his white son Tyrone.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he could be extremely progressive.
True.
And just be like, names should not belong to certain races. Now, the reality is, where was this? In Palm Beach?
This was in Palm Beach.
Yeah, he was racist.
Yeah.
But I do like to imagine a reality where he's just like, I've always loved the name Tyrone.
Yeah, it's a good name.
My best friend in growing up, his
Imagine
name was Tyrone.
Imagine he signs his kid up to like youth sports, and like the coach is like, "Oh fuck yeah,
yeah,
we got a Tyrone."
Some fucking private school in Palm Beach. He's like
Palm
Eric.
Beach youth sports.
Yeah, he's just like,
"Oh fuck yeah, we got a Tyrone."
Looking at a list full of Erics and Matts and Jeffs, and then he gets to Tyrone.
Couple
he's
of
like,
Joshua's out.
He's like, "Whoo, we got a running back. We got a running back."
Looks like we found our wideout.
Yeah.
And that kid walks in.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn it.
Fuck, dude.
Goddamn progressive white people.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best kind. I would rather a progressive white person who names their kid, I would say stereotypical black names. Tyrone's one.
Jerome.
Darion.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that, than the kind of progressive white people who name their kid Apple.
Yeah.
That's not.
Kill them.
Yeah,
kill them. For sure.
There's a celebrity who actually, I can't remember who it is, named their kid Apple.
Yeah, a dumbass.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we get it, dude. You want people to pay attention to you. You're an actor. I get it. It's fine.
Imagine being a teacher at like a private school in like Malibu, and just your entire list is like, Apple, is Cloud here today? Like,
is Cloud here? Do you know if he's here? Excuse me, Cloud is a they them. And you're like, Jesus. All right. Yep. All right. Do not mention Jesus in this classroom. This is an agnostic private school. It's like, all right, okay.
Remember, your parents all worship Satan to get where they are in Hollywood, so no Jesus.
Yes, exactly.
Dude, you ever watch the Thanksgiving Day Parade?
No.
It's the first time I've seen it in years. Like, I went over to my family's house. It was on while they're all cooking. And I was like, I know that there's pride parades, but damn, every parade's gay as hell.
Yeah, every parade has a certain amount of theatrics where you're like, there's a gay person involved in making this.
Yeah.
100%.
That's like when they did that shit where like it was like Gay Pride Month, and then there was a bunch of fucking like white dudes who were like, straight Pride Month. We're doing a straight pride parade. It's like, a parade is gay.
It had just been 4 F-150s and a bunch of dudes walking down the street behind them. Just this is our parade. It'd been the lamest parade in the world.
If you're trying to prove you're straight, don't throw a parade. That's the gayest thing possible.
Yeah.
They did like a theatrical Lion King thing, and there was a I mean, it looked like LeBron James in a wig. This dude was huge. And I was joking with my brother about just being like, dude, imagine being that guy's dad. And your son is 6'7", jacked.
And he's like, we're making it out of wherever we are.
We're like, my son's going to the NBA, and he's like, I want to get into theater. And you're like, fuck.
But I mean, not totally unsuccessful if you end up in the Macy's Day Parade, right?
I don't know what level of theater you have to get to.
I don't really know much when it comes to like that kind of stuff, where it's like, what is success for like theater?
That's a level of gay I won't even Google.
You know, I mean, I might sometimes. It's because like I was thinking about that earlier. Somebody I know who I met, they started doing improv. They love it. I think improv's lame. I don't like improv. My least favorite thing about performing at the comedy club, the Improvs down here, is when people go, so you do improv? And I'm like, I perform stand-up comedy at the comedy club called the Improv. I do not do improv. They're like, oh, so it's like none of it's on the spot. I'm like, some of it is on the spot. That's either called riffing or crowd work. And I guess technically I am improvising what I'm going to say. It's not improv.
I don't do improv.
But they started improv, and I was
thinking. Improv is like, Oprah and Biden meet at a Starbucks. End scene.
Just like, you get a latte.
Now you get a latte.
You get a latte. And then the person doing Biden's like, blah, blah,
all this coffee can't stop me from being Sleepy Joe.
Oh, yeah. and then no
the
one
decaf
laughs.
is called a sleepy cup of Joe. And no one laughs.
Joe
and
Biden opens a coffee shop called
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe's. It's all decaf coffee. See, we made it funny.
There we go. It's
We
just coffee
improv-
with
we're in a-
rohypnol in it.
We're an improv podcast.
Yeah.
But I hate that. And I was thinking about, like, I was like, where does this go for somebody?
Improv?
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I understand, like, there's
4
like,
jobs a year open at Saturday Night Live.
yeah,
And that's it.
right. So it's like you are just hoping that you are either good enough to make your own sketch show, like, which, I mean, think about the history of comedy. How many good sketch shows have there been? Chappelle, who's not even an improv guy, he's a stand-up. But
Yeah.
that's one of the best sketch shows. Key and Peele is great.
Sure.
Tim Robinson, I Think You Should Leave, is
Yep.
like next level. And I know he's like a
He's
Second
Second
City
City,
guy.
yeah.
And then Saturday Night Live, Mad TV. That's 5.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only so many people on that cast.
Yeah.
If you're doing improv, you're probably not going to make it there. You know
No.
what I mean?
You're going to
So-
do little theater shows for 30 people and then call your dad and be like, I got a good feeling about this year.
Yeah.
Also, are you still paying my NYU payments?
It is funny that, like, as a stand-up comic, I don't doubt. I think there are people who probably look at those people and us the exact same. And the reality
Yeah.
is we probably are, but at least we're not doing fucking improv,
Mhm.
dude. At least I'm talking about my dick,
Yeah.
you know? I'm not being
Stand-up's a much more, like, I don't know, less gay art form. I don't know how to explain it, but
You're heavy
Here's-
on the gay today. You're
Yeah.
really hammering the gays.
I'm really hammering it. I don't know how to, like, I think the issue with improv is, like, it doesn't have to be funny. Funny's like a bonus
Yes.
in improv. Stand-up has to be funny. You have to stand up there alone
Yes.
and be funny for the amount of time you're given. Whereas, like, improv is you're going to be given a scene and you just have to complete that scene.
Yes.
Funny, optional.
Yes.
And people are impressed by the fact that someone said Oprah and Joe Biden in a coffee shop, and you just did that for 3 minutes
Right.
and didn't fuck it up.
Right. It's like we all know the thing is, like, we all know they're trying to be funny the whole time, but the only thing that you need for improv to be successful is that you kept the scene going.
Yeah, you yes-anded
You
for
yes
long enough.
anded for long enough until
You know
they
what
shut
it is?
the lights
You know
off.
why it's lame? It's still theater. It's still like theater kid energy. It's very much like,
Yeah.
and I'm in the town.
Yeah.
It's still that shit.
I just don't
Whereas-
have. I do
yeah.
not have that in me. I was in a school play when I was young, but it's I'm like 11. I don't even remember what the play was.
Mhm.
Actually, that's not true. I was Mr. Bundles in the musical Annie, the laundry guy. That's all I really remember. But I'm not, like, even like in my stand up, like, I have a hard time being like, like, we've talked about act outs on here a million times. That's the equivalent to me of what that energy is, of being like, and then I went to the market. Like, it's like, that hurt. Doing that in this chair right now hurt me.
Yeah, it sucks.
But
it's not the best.
that's fine. We're an anti-improv podcast for sure.
Mm-hmm. We'll actually fuck you up if you even try to riff on stage. We'll beat the shit out of you.
We'll fucking, dude, I just thought about how funny it would be if I just got on stage and, like, if, like, I was watching a heckler video and then I was like, how funny would it be if I just, like, flying elbow, like, stage dove into a heckler? like I love the thought of, like, a comic who's just, like, not handling a heckler properly to the point where they're just like, this is my only option. And they just fucking.
This is my only out. Dude, that's the evolution of, like, the Instagram reel crowd work videos, because that's what goes viral, or, like, comedian nails heckler,
Yeah.
which is lame. But, like, that's where it needs to go, is just people fighting at clubs.
Well, for a while after the Will Smith thing, that was kind of like everybody who had a video, or, like, I almost feel like there were comics who were like, God, I hope somebody attacks me.
Oh, yeah.
I really do, because I've watched some videos where, like, the person didn't even get attacked, but that's how the video was all set up. It's like, comedian attacked by angry crowd member, and it's really just somebody who like stood up in the front row because the comedian was like, yeah, your wife is a ugly cunt, and I was like, yeah, dude, I'd fuck you up too, bro.
Yeah, dude, can't be doing that. I remember making like an Instagram story right after like that Will Smith thing happened, and I was like, I can't wait to only hear about this at open mics for the next 2 weeks.
And it's what it was. Anytime anything significant happens, there's
it's like, ugh.
Somebody thinks they need to be a topical comic.
Dude, don't be a topical. I remember coming back to comedy after COVID, which in Florida was like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
But I remember like doing stand up, and it was like every comic that still sucks, surprisingly, had a fucking Tiger King joke.
Yeah.
And it was like, Tiger King doesn't need jokes.
Yes.
That is the funny.
Dude.
You can't be funnier than
what that is.
What that is.
Absolutely.
You're not going to find a funny riff on it. That is the funny.
Right.
And every single comic had a Tiger King joke, and I was like, you guys suck.
I love every once in a while when you see a comic who's doing COVID jokes.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2022. You got to get new material, man. You can't keep joking about COVID.
No.
The only exception that I make for multiple reasons is comedians who are releasing specials this year, because I understand how hard it is to build an hour.
Sure.
And since the last time you released a special,
COVID
happened. You should probably talk about it. Mm-hmm. But it's so funny to be like, yeah, like, you know, like these fucking masks. Nobody in Florida's worn a mask for a year and a half. It's just like crazy.
I was
dude.
cleaning out, like we have like a shelf thing by our front door where like we hang our keys, and we just have like shit in there, and there's a box of masks in there, and I was like, oh yeah, these.
Right.
Like,
I put on a jacket recently, and it had a mask in the pocket, and I was like, damn, I haven't worn this jacket for a while. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. Dude, speaking of masks, I flew this weekend, or I flew yesterday. Almost got in a fight with a lady on the plane. Like, I was moments away from fisticuffs with this small woman. I was on the plane. I leaned my chair back. And here's the deal, dude. I'm a big guy. I don't like when people lean their chairs back. But that's a part of the plane. The plane leans, the chairs lean back. I'll lean mine back. We all lean ours back. It's like nobody lean theirs back. That's my thought process on it. So I lean it back. I don't have my headphones in at the time, and I hear her go, ugh. And I feel her moving around, totally fine. And then I feel a kick, and I'm like, I'm sure that was just an accident. And then I feel her hand hit like the top corner.
Oh.
And I turned around. I like was looking at her. I was like, "Do you have a fucking problem?" And she wouldn't make eye contact with me.
She didn't know she was dealing with a psycho.
No, she did not know that I was ready for smoke on this Delta flight.
She didn't realize that she punched the back of a fucking ex-heroin addict, sober psycho.
Yeah, dude. And it's funny because like I remember the night before thinking like I've been in such a good headspace lately. I'm in Oklahoma. Everybody's nice. I was sitting at the gas pump after getting gas, and somebody was like walking up to my car, and I was like, fuck, man, here we go. And I cracked my window. I was like, what's up? And he was like, oh, your gas tank is open. I'm going to shut it for you real quick. He walked from the entrance of a 7-Eleven by his car that was parked by the front door to shut my gas.
Was this
cap.
on the way to Oklahoma?
This was
or
in
on the way
Oklahoma.
Back?
This was on the way back.
Ooh.
So I was already in that Florida mindset, dude.
Yeah, you were getting
so
back into
I'm
it.
pissed, dude. I am angry. And so the flight was delayed by like 20 minutes. I only had like a 45-minute layover, and they come over the intercom, and they're like, if you're flying to West Palm, Orlando, or Phoenix, or whatever it was, and please raise your hand. And so I put my hand up, and they were like, you know, let these people off early or whatever, and so that they can make their connecting flights. And I could hear her behind me going, oh, gate C43, that's not that far, whatever. And I'm looking at my phone. That's the gate I'm going to. Mm-hmm. She lives in Port St. Lucie, and I know that because when we got off the plane, I'm standing in the aisle because the people in mine let me out.
So she's fucking trash.
So she's a garbage person. Mm-hmm. So they let me out. I'm standing, and I feel somebody like shove into the back of me, and I turn around, and she's there with her like Vera Bradley bag. You know what I'm talking about? Just you would know. It's like a floral pattern bag.
Oh, my wife has one.
Yes, everybody's wife has one. If you're a white woman, you've owned a Vera Bradley bag at some point. And she shoves into me,
bitch.
and so I turn around and I look at her, and she's like, "Do you have a 605 connecting?" No, okay, and then just like pushes by me. And I just let it happen. She ends up one person in front of me. And then she's asking the people in front. She's like, 6:05 or what? Like, and first off, our flight was at 6:20. She's lying, which pisses me off. And then she's stuck in front of me and she keeps asking people, can I get by? And I'm like, yeah, lady, we're all just standing in the aisle for no fucking reason. And she was like, yeah, no reason my ass. And I was like, that doesn't even make sense as a response to what I said, you idiot. And then I think me calling her an idiot really, and me being probably twice her size and being aggressive in a very enclosed space got her uncomfortable. But she started mumbling under her breath, and then like her ID was hanging off the back of the bag, and I was like reading her address like a psycho, and I was like,
she had no idea.
She had no idea. And so, anyways,
there's no idea that the Frankenstein she's been dealing with is a psycho.
Just this, I'm sure there was a moment where when she realized how angry I was at the seat, and then I stood up in the aisle and had to cock my neck to the side because my head was at the ceiling. She was probably like, kind of fucked that one up. And I was like, and her ID was like clipped on. And I was like, if there wasn't other people watching me, I would unclip her ID and steal it just to be... Just to ruin the rest of her track. Yeah, just toss it on a seat. Somebody will return it eventually, but she'll get home. She'll have to make a trip to the DMV. Boy, you better stop. And that's not fun. I was plotting evilness on this woman. I was like, I could steal her ID. I would never. First off, let me just say this before I say this part. I would never do this, but I was like, I have this bitch's address right here. I could send her a fucking...
You got the Addy.
I could fucking drop I could drop a flaming bag of shit on her doorstep. You
could slide the Addy to the youngins.
I could, yeah. Give my hitters the fucking Addy. And then we get to the gate. I'm in line. I make my next flight, and she walks in front of everybody in the line, goes straight to the front. And I hear her jawing at the person, yada, 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 about first class, whatever. And then they make her get in the back of the line.
The confidence of small white women.
Yeah,
is
dude.
Crazy.
I don't understand it.
Because I obviously fly with my wife, who you've met.
Yeah.
Is 4'11". Very small.
Yes.
The confidence that she has of just like walking through people and just like, we need to get to the front of the line. It's like, I don't have the confidence of like, I swear to God, if you're a white woman under 5'3", you have the confidence of Michael Jordan.
You know what I think it is? I think as men, we know that if we do something like that and another man gets angry, there is call for physical violence.
Yeah.
And I'm not a physically violent guy. I mean, I thought about it on this flight, but like that's the thing is a woman is like, nobody is going to hit me or like get like, whatever. Yeah. Worst case scenario.
I've told my wife before, like, we don't get into fights often, but like one or two times when we've had like big fights, she'll say something and I'm like, you understand that if you were a man and you said that to me, I'd punch you in the fucking face for that.
It's like they're not aware that they could be physically destroyed by anybody at any time.
Yeah. They don't.
Not that I would do that or condone that. And then every once in a while, you see a video on Twitter where it happens. And I'm like, that's wrong.
Where a guy didn't get the memo of you shouldn't hit women.
Yeah.
All he knows is like, if someone says that to you, you punch him.
Yeah. And then you watch it and you're like, that's not right. And then you watch it like 5 or 6 more times and you're like, God damn, look at this bitch get knocked the fuck out at the TSA line. Like, hell yeah. I don't know, man. Sometimes I like...
There is something funny about like a Karen getting just someone exploding in her face.
Yes,
it's really funny.
I've seen a couple videos on Twitter because that's the only place that like they'll allow like real physical violent videos. Every once in a while, one slips through the algorithm on TikTok or Instagram, but Twitter's where it's at, dude.
Yeah.
And I'll watch a video of like a couple arguing, and then the woman hits the guy, and then the guy just cleans her out, dude. Like, and there's a part of me that's like, you hit somebody, you might get hit back, and then I'm like, that's not fair.
Just cleans her
yeah,
shit.
Dude.
There are a lot of videos. A great place to see these videos is a cool little website called World Star Hip Hop.
Yes.
Where you will every like day there's a new video that's like woman play all the captions on the video are insane. Every video title is like woman be playing with the wrong one. It's just a woman like bitching at a dude at 7-Eleven, and he just cleans her clock.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, the best are just the scenarios of those videos where it's like 6 a.m. People are like at 7-Eleven getting their coffee, and some woman just gets rocked. And it's like, you still got to get to work on time.
Yeah, dude. Like, the woman probably doesn't because she's going to need the hospital. But the guy who just did that, he's going to get out of there before the police come.
Yep.
And he still has to go to work.
And all the other people in there aren't going to stay around to snitch because they're like, I can't be late to work.
Yeah, dude. So really,
if you're going to beat the fuck out of a lady, do it before you got to get to work.
You heard it here first. If you're going to beat the shit out of a woman in public, which you shouldn't do, but if you want to get away with it, do it at a 7-Eleven before work. And if you want to murder somebody, go to fieldseats.com where you can get a very, very competent review of a firearm and then have the chance to win it.
Yep.
Which is pretty crazy.
That's crazy. Think about this. You're looking at guns, and you're like, boy, oh boy, which one of these will shut my neighbor up?
Yeah.
You want to know which gun will scare your neighbors the most. You can get reviews of these guns to find out exactly which one. And when you watch these reviews, you got to pay for the reviews. But when you pay for them, you're entered to win the gun.
That's pretty crazy. You could win a handgun. You could win a fucking LMG. Which is wild.
Have you ever played Call of Duty Black Ops 1? Do you remember the Galil? You can win that for $35 at fieldseats.com, and you can get 10% off using promo code FFF. How crazy is that?
Fieldseats.com. That's fucking wild, dude.
10% off of a fucking machine gun.
Yeah, or a handgun if you need to conceal it because you want to keep it a secret so you can surprise people.
Is your wife degrading you in front of her friends? Does she forget that she's 4'11"? You could fuck her up. Bring home a goddamn machine gun. She'll act straight.
Don't threaten her with it, but just if she's getting lippy, just polish it in the living room.
Make sure the clip is out, but get loose with where you're pointing.
Yeah, dude.
You know, and on fieldseats.com, they review them, but they also give you a lot of tips on the gun. You'll know where the safety is.
Yeah.
Turn it on as a little goof and just aim it right at your bitch's head. And you can get 10% off this. I mean, this would be one of the best moments of your life. Imagine your wife gets a little lippy and you're like, say hello to my little friend. 10% off of that, you can't beat that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All these other podcasts are like, oh, you can get underwear at Mack Weldon. You can win a gun.
Yeah. How about that? You could make somebody shit their sheath underwear with your gun that you got on fieldseats.com.
How about this? The government collapses. We're fighting over land. Would you rather have pairs of underwear or a fucking Galil?
Think about that.
Idiot.
I hope people don't skip these. Because when I watch podcasts or listen to podcasts, as soon as it's like, and that reminds us, Magic Spoon, I go, skip right through it.
Yeah, you got to be good at doing your ads.
Yeah.
And we are good at doing the ads.
I think so. Field Seats really gives us a lot of.
To be fair,
they fucked up and told us like 2 weeks in that they were like, "There's nothing you can say that's gonna make us." No.
I'm pretty sure like the third ad read we did was me being like, "Are you being bullied at school?" And they were like hilarious.
Yeah, they were like, "That was really funny."
So maybe most sponsors that you get aren't as cool as Field Seats, which is why you should support them with promo code FFF.
Yeah, it's veteran owned too for our boys out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's the coolest thing ever. Veteran-owned company based in America. Can't say that about Ford or Chevy anymore. They went to China with all the libs and the Dems. I don't know.
I think they're still made. I don't know if. I think a lot of them are made in Mexico.
Yeah, probably. All I know is when anybody starts talking about, like, yeah, all the fucking libs and Dems, I laugh because I'm like, oh, fuck, you're not joking. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I like using the, like, I love calling people libtards because it's, like, ironic. But, like, yeah, when you hear somebody really start going and you're like, they're like, the libs and the Dems, it's like, damn, dude. Speaking of this, I'm not going to finish that thought. I was at Thanksgiving, so Thanksgiving was this week. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. And I was sitting in the fucking living room with my dad, who's a fucking Democrat to the core. He's
Crazy.
like old school Democrat. He's like, which is funny because he like grew up in Oklahoma, military family. You know, worked in like the oil fields. He's like a man. He owns his own like contracting business. He's like a manly man. But then he's like, Joe Biden has always had a stutter. Like he's not. I'm like, that's crazy. But like he's like that. My uncle, exact same upbringing.
He's also not stuttering. He said his son died in Iraq, which he died of brain cancer.
Yeah, and his other son is gonna eventually die of a drug overdose. But
his other son is a fucking rock star.
his other son is living the life,
Yeah,
dude.
I understand being like, that's the president's son. It's fucked up, and there are a lot of videos. He is a little crazy, but like, he rules, dude. That's awesome.
He does. He's like fucking hookers and smoking crack and like recording himself weighing crack.
That's my favorite part. My favorite part
wild.
is that because crack makes you paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite, to be so secure in life where you're like, my dad's the president. I could have a drone strike on the ops. I don't
Yeah.
care.
He's like,
Be
"I'll record
so
this."
confident to be able to smoke crack and be like, turn the webcam on.
Yeah. I want to record how big this rock is. Yeah, like that's crazy.
Also, hooker, get in frame.
Yeah. Say your name. So I'm my dad is there and my uncle is there. My uncle a little older than my dad, same upbringing. It's my dad's brother, same exact upbringing. And I tell you what, he just can't go a holiday with football on the TV without being like, I just don't watch it as much since those guys started taking knees.
Yeah.
And then I watch, it's literally like dad here, uncle here, I'm here watching the Cowboys. I hear this exchange and I'm like, all right, let's perk up a little bit. And I'm like, can't wait for this. And then my dad is like,
Turn the recorder on.
yeah, I'm just like, okay, let's see how this goes. And my family doesn't get in fights. My family just passive aggressively. My dad's like, yeah, the problem I had is when they did the like fuck pigs socks. That's what but the kneeling, the fun part about that is they actually asked a Green Beret veteran how they should protest, and he told them they should take a knee, and my uncle's just like, that's bullshit. It was just like, my dad's just like spitting facts, trying to be calm, and my uncle's just gaslighting him. He's like, that's not real. And I'm like, Thanksgiving rocks.
Yeah, dude, it's the best.
I love that. I love watching somebody argue when there's one side, whichever side you agree with.
I'm about to leave and go see this because my family has a Christmas party every year. That's why I'm dressed to the nines.
Yes.
In my
That's why he
very
has
dirty
pants on.
Hirachis. My shoes are so fucking dirty, dude. I need to clean these.
They look black to me, so
Well,
they're fine.
all right. Well, you don't have to go there. But
All right.
I'm about to go to a Christmas party at my family's house where they have 200 of their friends show up, and they get hors d'oeuvres and a bartender. It's a very nice time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all white people in their 50s and 60s. I'm about to hear some cool opinions.
Yeah, dude. That's fun. That's a
Yeah.
good time because I like watching.
If things get a little slow, I'm just going to join a group of people talking and be like, you know what? I don't care for this Kaepernick fella. And just let it go.
And then just slowly back out into the bushes. Like just like out.
I do. Yeah, I will say this. I'm all for the kneeling. Kneel if you want. That's your right. It's your freedom as an American.
I'm so curious what you're about to say.
I hate Colin Kaepernick.
I think he's a cornball of a person. I think what he did is great. But I don't.
Here's the thing about Colin Kaepernick. He's like his whole thing is like they blackballed me from the NFL, but it's like, dude, you make $400,000 a year off that Nike contract by being the victim. You can't say the truth, which is you were offered a 2-year, $14 million contract as a backup quarterback. You declined it, which I don't hate because he thought he could be a starting quarterback again.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, I'm not going to sign that extension. I'm going to go into free agency and test free agency. Maybe I can get a longer deal, more money, maybe be a starter somewhere. I get it. Players do that all the time. Decline the option, test free agency to get more money. I get it. But then you fucked yourself up and got double knee surgery. Nobody wants to pick you up. People still kneel that get fucking Xavier Howard kneels for the anthem. We signed him to like a $90 million contract.
Because guess what? He plays ball.
Because he hoops. You are a backup quarterback who was at the time like 31, who just came off double knee surgery. You're not blackballed from the NFL. No general manager is going to touch you. That's how it is. That's football. You decline the option. You would have had 2 years of guaranteed money. You declined it. Once again, don't blame me for doing it. But you declined that money. You didn't get blackballed. You're a backup quarterback with double knee surgery. It's over. Nobody's touching you.
Colin, and we know you're watching this, so
Yeah. Fuck you, dude.
Hope you're taking notes.
Motherfucker.
Fucking dumbass. Fucking idiot.
You dumb bitch.
Oh, dude. Oh, this is good.
This is fun.
The duo cast is always a little extra fun.
The duo cast is always fun. I'm always on the duo casts because I don't leave.
Well, you don't make it seem like Josh is in Mason City, Iowa.
I know.
It's not like he's like on tour.
I'm aware.
But yeah, your whole family, your whole life is here, dog.
I know. I'll never leave here.
No. Do you ever think that? Do you ever think like I'll move somewhere else, or do you think you'll want to live here forever?
Oh no, I'll move. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to eventually.
Like for comedy?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I have to eventually. I don't know when that day is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's now. I'd like to get into more clubs. I'd like this tour to start doing things.
Dirty Talk Comedy Tour.
Dirty Talk Comedy Tour
on
Hopefully
Instagram.
Coming near you soon.
Yeah.
Honestly, in 2023, it probably will. It will probably be near you at some point.
Yeah.
But this tour goes well. We get into clubs. We start just like the networking thing. I don't want to go. My ideal place would be New York, maybe Austin.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go to one of those places until I have some sort of in there.
Yes,
I don't want to just go there and just like do mics and basically, obviously not as a like comedian, like my jokes and my ability on stage wouldn't restart, but I'd go there and nobody would know who I am.
Yeah.
I don't want to restart in the hierarchy in a new city. I want to go there with connections before I go there.
100%. That's how I feel about it, dude. It's like I like the idea of Austin better than New York just because of like cost of living, where it is. I like the location better. I like the city a lot. I've never been to New York. I can't compare the city to it. I just know I like Austin. No, I need to go. I mean, probably since I'm considering like relocating my life there at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like right now we got the pod here, we got the fucking tour. It's like I see people move to New York, and God bless you if you're listening and you just recently moved to New York within the last year and you're a South Florida comic. Man, I tell you what, you made a fucking mistake because you're not good. There's no way they're listening, right?
They might be, but who cares?
I don't think they are.
There are a couple that moved out there where it's like, you suck. You can be anywhere. It's not going to happen for you. And then there are a couple where it's like, you're just new.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
If you're brand new, I feel like you can either be brand new and move to New York or Austin or LA or one of those places and start there.
Yes.
Or you kind of should wait until you are established and you have connections there.
Yeah.
But to like go there like 4 years in, and everyone we know who went there like 3, 4, 5 years in are bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to name names, but
I don't
know
either.
a
But
single
Daniel
comic.
Laspada not going to make it.
Neither will Sean Mullins.
Yeah. Sean's cool. But it's like.
Both of those guys, great guys.
Yeah. But.
Just not funny comics.
Yeah. We are in like a weird like middle spot.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, I'm not good enough to go there and just start getting club work.
No.
You know, because a lot of that is connections or being in the city for long enough.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, that's still connections.
Sure.
You can start new somewhere. That's a good way to do it. If you move, if you fucking start comedy and you've been doing it for 6 months and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to New York. I support that more than somebody who's 4 years in.
Yeah.
Get something here, build something here. If you're not even doing well here.
That's the thing. It's like
what
Chelsea Perry, friend of the show.
Yes.
She was like she wasn't even a year in and moved there. It's like, that's fine.
Yeah, dude.
Do that.
That might make you good.
I also think Chelsea's funny. For a 10-month comic or however long she's been doing it. She is funny, but like for a lady. But
yeah, she is a woman, by the way. We just have to.
No, she's great. But like there are a couple comics where it's like, dude, you were here for 4 or 5 years and you sucked here.
Yeah,
Why
exactly,
would you think, like,
dude.
a zip code is going to change the fact that you suck.
I think it's just like a thing of like, I'd rather be failing in New York than failing somewhere else.
You're still failing.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I agree.
I'm in Florida. I'm doing way better than you. I'm nowhere near the Cellar.
Yeah.
I've been to the Cellar, but I didn't perform at the Cellar.
Yeah.
I watched Dan Soder at the Cellar, which is
Damn,
cool.
dude, he's sick.
He's the man. But yeah, I mean, I've never been in any of those clubs to like do work in them, but like I'm doing better than all of y'all.
Dude, me and Jeff rock.
Yeah, we're shit.
We're better than you. We're more
Definitely.
Attractive than you.
100%.
100%. Our dicks are good. Yours
Yeah.
are bad.
Yeah, ours work, idiot.
Look at the way we sit. We
I
didn't
bet you
even
can't
plan
get
this.
hard. Oh, we didn't.
We're just that cool.
There is a psychological thing called mirroring, which is when you're
Ooh.
comfortable around somebody.
We are like, dude, like right now, we
Yeah.
are very, very
Yeah.
mirrored to
There's
each other.
there's a thing called mirroring where when you are comfortable around somebody, you will mirror their actions. If you're comfortable and you like this person,
yeah.
you'll mirror their mannerisms or the way they're sitting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I
Imagine,
also saw that in a Netflix movie with Chris Hemsworth, which was very bad. It's called it's about like an island. I don't even remember what it's called. It's dog shit. It was very
the
bad.
like weird sci-fi one where
Yeah.
they like trap the people there or whatever it
They're
is. They're, like,
prisoners
testing
and they
the-
test drugs on them.
I like that shit. Maybe I just liked it because I was watching
Did
them
you
test
watch it?
drugs. Yeah, I watched
it was so bad.
Was it?
I
Dude,
hated that movie.
I have
dude. That
no
movie
idea what good
stinks,
cinema
dude.
is.
Watch The Northman on Amazon. You got Prime?
Yeah,
Watch The Northman.
I've been trying to get into film.
That's such a weird thing to try. Just watch movies. It's not
I
like
know.
a thing.
I know.
It's not like a tough.
Well, it's like I was sitting here last night.
I'm saying I've been trying to get into theater. It's like just watch it.
I'm trying to get into watching movies, and that's such a dumb thing to be like. I
can't find the play button.
I'm just like grasping at a personality so hard that I'm like, I've had a hard time watching movies. I'm trying to get into watch. I was like sitting here last night. I'm alone. Nobody's in the house. I just flew in. I'm tired. I'm on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, what's the movie with Tom Hanks? Like, I'm the captain now.
Captain Phillips.
Won a fucking Emmy. It's on. It looks good.
Oscar.
Oscar.
Emmy is, television.
Oh, I did not know that. So it's like and it's objectively a great movie.
It's a very uncle movie.
So-
I feel like all uncles and dads love Captain Phillips.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, man, uncles and dads love a movie where the white middle-aged man is the main character and the fucking hero, dude.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Honestly,
the years when American
dads-
Sniper came out?
Oh.
Dude, white middle-aged men were just pumped. They were like, dude, Chris Kyle's a fucking hero. Like
Yeah.
everybody's banner poster on fucking Facebook was like Chris Kyle
Yeah.
laying down, sniping somebody. It's
Dude,
fucking crazy.
Dads also loved. Dads love any movie that has no fantasy.
Yeah.
It can't have
Yeah.
any fantasy in it. If
No.
they're like the movie I was just talking about, like if you read the description of that movie or just like the genre, like it's a sci-fi movie, every dad would be like, no.
Yeah.
But every dad I know loves that. What's that movie with Denzel where he's like a pilot but he's drinking?
Oh, that's such a good movie, dude.
I never saw it, but
Oh,
every dad
bro.
loves that movie.
Dude, they showed us
That's a
that in
dad
rehab,
movie.
bro. That was like a whole group one day.
Really?
Yeah, well, because at the end, spoiler alert for this movie we don't even know the name of. At the end, he like comes clean. He's like, I was drunk the day before. I was drunk the night of. And I was drunk when the plane crashed. Like, and it's like this big thing, and then he goes to jail. Like it was one of those things where it's like, oh, he was about to get away with it, and then he went to jail for it.
Dads love, like, old white guys love movies about men doing the right thing even though it's hard. Which is Captain Phillips, American Sniper, and whatever
dude.
movie that is with Denzel.
Fuck.
Old black dudes love like organized crime, but it's like classy, like a American Gangster.
American
It's
Gangster,
like
another
they're in
great
organized
Denzel.
crime, but he wears peacoats.
But he wears peacoats, and he runs it like a real business.
He
you
runs it
know?
like a business.
Yeah.
Those are dad ass movies.
It really is. Dads don't if you have a dad who likes sci-fi, got bad news for you. Your dad's gay.
As hell. You don't want a sci-fi
If
dad.
your dad is pumped for the next Avatar to come out, fuck, dude.
Dude, I really hope that movie flops.
I hope it's so bad.
Here's the thing about Avatar is Disney wants you to care about Avatar. The only reason Avatar is big is because Disney goes, Avatar is big. No one cares about that movie. Everybody in the world saw that movie. You've seen that movie.
I've seen the movie.
Name a character from that movie.
No, I don't know.
Nobody fucking knows. Any other big budget movie, The Avengers, fucking Star Wars, all of those like huge $1 billion like movies, you can name a character.
So here's what I think. Here's my theory on Avatar. Avatar came out in like 2011, 2010.
I think it was 09.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It was
I was
either
in high school when it came out.
It was either my freshman or sophomore year, which it would have been like 09 or 10. And it came out in 3D. And it was like beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Before they had theaters where everything is Dolby and a vibrating chair and a recliner and 3D. That's what made it big.
Not to cut you off, another movie dads love, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, dude. Okay, yeah. I will interrupt my Avatar point. Basically, my whole Avatar point is the second movie is going to be the exact same. It's not going to be as mind-blowing because we're used to graphics like that. Yeah. Nobody's going to give a shit. My dad went with my uncle and both of my brothers-in-law in like a dude outing to go see Top Gun.
I saw Top Gun
I've
Maverick
never seen it.
in theaters. It was sick. I saw it in 4D, which ruled because like the seats move. So like when planes would go by, like, it would be like phew, and like the Doppler effect and the sea would move. It was sick. But I said this once and I'll say it again. That movie is the highest grossing movie of the year, and I really believe that it's because that movie stars Miles Teller and Tom Cruise, and at no point in that movie is it like, turns out the best pilot the whole time was a black woman.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just white guys rocking, and everyone's like, this rules.
You've made that point before, and I do think whether that speaks to a larger issue at hand or not, which I think it does, I do think that might be why. It's just no frills. It's like, this is a badass movie. These are the characters you're used to.
Yep.
These are mostly who flies our planes is white dudes.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only people
There's
who
some black
want
dudes
to
in
fly
it.
planes.
There's black dudes in
I'm
it.
sure there are.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are black men who serve in our Air Force
There
and
are.
in our military. I know there's a lot of them. And thank you for your service. But stay the fuck out of Top Gun. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, dude.
Have you heard the soundtrack in there? No hip hop. Highway to the danger zone. That is a white dad song. Dad turns that on and he goes to his son's youth baseball game and he's like, I'm ready to fight another dad.
Dude,
that's
fuck
a song.
yeah. He's like, I'm ready to yell at the ump.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Dude.
Blue, that's a bad call. That's a bad call, Blue.
The game.
If your dad refers to umpires as blue, your dad has a drinking problem.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I
Dude,
miss
God
those
damn
days.
it. That's a good premise. That
is a good one. That's
I like
yours.
that.
You have that.
I'll take it.
I
Well,
love giving.
I said it. So
I know. I love doing that in public. Like when people say something, they're like, "Oh, that might be a good premise." I'm like, "I'll let you have it." They're like, "Yeah, it was my thought, dude." You know, like, yeah, no, I'm just being nice.
Or just when people are in conversation, like if you're in a conversation with comics and nobody's like running bits, we're just like fucking around. Just go. I don't know if that. Just someone will be like, yeah, and you know, like the wife can't get out to a mic because of the wife. Like, I don't know if this bit has legs. Like, I'm not doing a bit.
My only thing that I enjoy more than that is catching somebody running a bit by me. Like in conversation. I'm positive we've talked about this, but
we have.
I
Because
love
I name
that.
dropped Jessica Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was
yeah.
like, stop doing this.
Yes.
Because her and I started around the same time, and she would always run bits around me.
That's
and
crazy.
eventually I was like, stop, because I see you go up there and say the same things.
Mm-hmm.
Be normal. Be a person right now. Where you're not on stage, be a person.
That's the
And
issue.
now she avoids me.
That's my biggest gripe with hanging out with comedians is when they can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between just being a funny. If you're a comedian, you're probably a pretty funny person.
Sure.
And that carries off stage. But if you're still speaking in cadence and
Ooh.
punchlines off stage, Oh, you're unbearable.
Stop doing that. If you start a sentence like a setup, we'll fucking know, you weirdo.
Yeah,
We'll
weirdo.
know. If you're like, so check this out. The other day I'm in Starbucks, like, don't start a sentence like that. You're not talking into a microphone.
Yeah.
Talk normal.
So
You weirdo.
So the other day, stop.
No.
First off, it wasn't the other day. Second off, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm sure most people know this. Anytime a comic's like, so I was in Starbucks today. They were in Starbucks 4 months ago.
On the way to the show a year ago. Yeah, that's exactly.
On the
what
way
it
to the
is.
show, I stopped off at Walmart. Nope, you were in Walmart 6 months ago.
And had this funny thought.
And 10% of this bit happened, and then you extrapolated the rest out in your head.
Yep.
We lie.
Yeah, we do. And you know what's funny? It was weird. I did that show in Oklahoma, and like so a lot of my stuff is just like my life. Or like even like the Catholic basketball thing.
Mm-hmm.
Catholic school shit, all that shit. And then there's like people there who actually experienced it with me, and it made some of it hit really well, but I had to change some of it because I've, you know, like my Catholic school like setup is like we just played other private Catholic schools. We did sometimes, most of the time we did not. Most of the time we played like 5A public schools who were fucking dunking on us. Like that's the reality of it. It was weird. That was a weird thing to have to do, to be like, there are people who actually know
the truth here.
the real truth.
That don't
so
understand I have to tweak the truth for the sake of being funny.
Yeah, but that show I had to tweak the funny for the sake of being truthful.
Yeah,
luckily it
weird.
still worked because they experienced it with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I did jokes about my family that murdered because they're there and they brought their friends. Like
Sure.
it was, you know, it was great. But that was weird. That was a very weird experience.
It looked like a sick show, though.
It was sick. It was dude.
Did you film it?
Yes. Yeah, I filmed it. There's a ton of good shit. I'm really excited, like a bunch of clips and stuff. And it was cool. It was in like a movie theater, basically. So it was
That's
like
cool.
Great setup, really cool. I knew I was 2 degrees of separation from almost every single person in there, which I thought would be shitty, but actually ended up being great. It was like the first time, you know, when you watch a headliner perform and you're like, damn, it must be great to perform for a crowd that's there for you and likes you.
Yeah.
That's like the first time I had that experience where I was just like, fuck, everything I say hits.
I've had that experience, but I've had a bad experience.
Yes.
Because it's everyone who, like, I legitimately know. And I was like, I was uncomfortable the whole time. I want people who are there for me, but I don't know that their phone number isn't in my phone.
Yeah, so this was like a unique experience. I think because of how it was set up, it really kind of got everybody in the mode of like, we're at a comedy show. I know him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had 1 or 2 people who I knew say something like during the show, like yell shit out, and I fucking dunked on them like hard as fuck. And I think everybody was kind of like, oh, he's okay. He's not fucking around. You know,
yeah. No, I'm here to do this.
I used to have a nickname in high school called Soft Ross. They called me Soft Ross.
Mm-hmm.
I got whiskey dick one time. The girl told my friend who told everybody,
Mm-hmm.
which happens. Not a big deal now. In high school, it was the worst deal.
Yep.
And a kid yelled that out, and I knew who it was, and I just fucking went in on him, and it murdered. And then nobody said anything the rest of the show. I was like, yeah, learn your fucking lesson, idiots.
I do this, motherfucker.
Yeah, it was good though. It was good. It was a very good night. It was funny after the show. My family. This is how I know I'm like with a bunch of like old like fucking people, because they were just like, everybody the day or two after was like, show was great, all the comedians were funny, you did great, I love you, yada yada. Then as the days went on, they were like, you know what I really liked about that place? The seats were huge and so comfortable. And, you know, it was a movie theater. So, like, I was worried that people going out to the bar would have to scoot by. There was a lot of room in front of me where they could just walk by. It was really great.
The bathrooms were clean.
Yeah, it turned into, like, the venue was really comfortable.
I don't care about the venue.
From, like, 5 different people who hadn't heard it from the other people were like, it was great. I do wish, I got this a lot. I do wish they hadn't sold that foo-foo beer in the lobby, because they were selling, like, Christmas IPAs. They're like, they really need some Bud Light in that lobby. I was like, oh,
you know that
dude.
I have no control over that.
You know, I also don't give a fuck, right?
I show up 15 minutes before you show up,
Yes.
and I set up a camera, and then I wait in the green room until they call my name, and
Yep.
then I do my time, and then I leave.
Yes, yeah.
I have no control over the venue.
It was good. It was good though. We got to do a show there when we go back because it was not like doing a comedy club. It was fun. You don't have to deal with check drop
if
and
a
people.
Flight to fucking Oklahoma wasn't $700, I'd have been
Yeah. It was expensive. We did not plan that properly.
No.
We were like, a week before Thanksgiving should be great. That's a great time for a show. And then you guys are like, oh, $1,000 to get there?
Yeah, it was the cheapest I could find was like $850 round trip. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
no.
fucking crazy.
Unless the show pays really well.
Which it did, but only because you guys didn't come.
Yeah, if you had to split that 3 ways.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
I think that's about an hour.
Yeah, we're at an hour. Duo cast. We're working hard. We're pulling Josh's dead weight. Literally, he's dead. So
yeah, rest in peace, Josh Francis. If you could DM his girlfriend, rest in peace, Josh, that'd be very funny.
Yeah,
I would enjoy
that. Do you have her Instagram? He
don't.
posts her all the time. It's Ariel. Yeah. Go to his profile. It'll be an in memoriam.
Or if you can find Josh's
then.
family on Facebook and DM them rest in peace.
Yeah, his brother is on his
Yeah. Let's trick Josh's family into thinking that he's dead as a goof.
Yeah.
That'll be very funny.
That would be funny.
You know what'd be a funny bit is Josh's mom crying thinking she lost her baby boy.
The week after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Like DM her this. Say, hey, hope you had a good Thanksgiving. It's the last one where your family's fully intact. Rest in peace, Josh. What a funny bit.
Say it just like that so that she's not sure if Josh is already dead or if you're threatening Josh's life. Because that's fun, too, where she's confused and doesn't know.
Or don't specify Josh so she's worried about all of her family members.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or kill Josh's dad.
Yeah, he's on his way out.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Alrighty. You guys have been
good girls. Thank you. Bye-bye.